Hi, this is Dave with Auto Credit Express. What I want to walk you through now is what happens when a consumer gets to one of our websites via our search engine optimization or search engine marketing. I'm taking you to a site called fundingway.com. It's one of our primary lead generation sites. And I'm going to scroll over to the side here so you see right up top we have a link to the Better Business Bureau. It's a direct link. Consumers can go over there and check us out and actually file a complaint if they like to. So I'm going to jump over to the Better Business Bureau. And as you can see, we have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. We've been a member since 2004. During that time, we've processed well over 2 million credit applications and have only had 5 complaints. 4 of those complaints have been resolved, and 1 is unpursuable. But actually, we've had more than that as far as on a complaint standpoint. But what normally happens is the consumer goes to our site, Fundingway or AutoCreditExpress.com, and we have a toll-free number listed right on our site. Typically, a consumer, the biggest complaint they may have is they didn't understand the entire loan process. So they can give us a call at a toll-free number. And the reason that's important that we have that number on there is to consumers call us when they have a problem. If that number was not there, if you're dealing with a lead generation that does not have a 1-800 number for consumers, chances are the consumer is going to take that stuff out on you guys, the car dealer. So that's why we have it there. Next, what I want to show you is how we set the expectations properly for the consumer. And I'm going to take you to our middle of the page, our auto loan calculator. And what this does is gives the consumer an idea of what they can borrow based on their debt to income and payment to income ratio. So I'm going to click bad or no credit score. Let's put in an income amount of $2,000, which is typical for a subprime customer. You see the loan amount right off the bat is about $14,000. When I put in a rent amount of $650, you'll see that it's going down a little bit. And let's throw in another debt amount here of $50. 10,500 is the qualified loan amount. And again, the reason that's important is if this person wants a brand new truck, SUV, Cadillac, we're telling them we can get you a loan for $10,500. So it makes your job a little bit easier at the store when it comes to letting the folks know what you can do for them. Before I head over to the credit application, I'd like to jump over and show you some other online credit applications that I found out on the internet. And typically, most credit applications have one thing in mind, that's collect the data from the consumer and get them to hit the submit button. Typically, the better you convert on the internet, the least likely you are to convert at the dealership at the point of sale. And you can see this is a no obligation and free credit application. There's 14 fields of data that this website is collecting, and they click here to get their free quote. Not much meat on that one. Next, we have another 14 field credit application. And once again, you can see there's not much here. Click to get your free quote, and again, there is no obligation, and it's free. Let's scroll down a little bit further here. Next, we have a 20-field credit application, and you can see it's a free 1-minute auto loan application. And again, the consumer is not obligated in any way, shape, or form to fill it out. And there it is, left to right. Those are the 20 fields that that company is collecting. Next is one that is 21 fields for the credit application, and of those 21 fields, they're asking for their instant messenger screen name, which is optional, and what service that is for. So typically, haven't quite seen that on a site. Probably not a bad idea, but without that, there's only 19 fields that they collect. So next, I'm going to jump back to Fundingway. I'm going to click through to our application. And one of the things I want to point out, I'm just going to scroll top to bottom real quick here for you. We collect 42 fields of data. It is by far the longest credit application in the industry. In addition to the credit application, we collect complete co-buyer information. Many sites have a checkbox that asks co-signer is available. If it is, we go ahead and collect it right there on the screen for you. Okay, I'm going to go back up top, and a couple things I want to point out here. We do ask them for their cell phone number if they do have it. Anybody that has less than a year at their current residence, we ask them for their previous residence, what type of employment they are, W-2, 1099, or fixed income, any type of other income that they have, as well as previous employer if they've been on their job less than a year, whether they have a savings checking account, their bank's name, how much cash they have for a down payment, and in general terms, what type of vehicle they're looking for. And this next one's actually my favorite part is if they have a trade. And this is really just another sign that the consumer is committed to the loan. If they take the time to fill out their trade VIN number, 17 digits, the year, make, and model, you have a much more serious car buyer. I think you'll agree that this is not a 1-minute application. In fact, it takes the consumer anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to fill this out, and we just think that's important. It is a more committed car buyer. Once the consumer hits the submit button, the application is then transmitted securely to you via our simple CRM, LotPro. We also have other options in which we can send them to a CRM as long as it's done securely.